The arena floor was slick with something that might have been blood, might have been engine coolant. Captain Zara Kim didn't care which. She was too busy calculating angles. 17 races had gathered in the Korvax fighting pits tonight. 17 different species, all convinced that humans were fragile little things from a backwater gravity well. Soft creatures who needed climate control and processed food. Delicate beings who would snap like twigs under real pressure. Zara had let them think that for 6 months now. 6 long months of smiling, nodding, playing the diplomat while her crew rotted in a detention facility 3 sectors away. The Korvax Imperium didn't believe in trials. They believed in spectacle, entertainment, blood sport. So here she stood, barely 5'7", weighing maybe 140, soaking wet, staring at the tunnel entrance where her opponent would emerge. The crowd was already screaming. Thousands of aliens packed into tiered seating, all of them howling for human blood. Above her, holographic displays showed her face, her stats, her homeworld. Earth, that beautiful blue marble that everyone out here seemed to think produced nothing but weaklings. The gate exploded outward. What came through was called a Brumal. 8 feet of corded muscle and rage, covered in thick gray hide that could deflect standard pulse rounds. 4 arms, each one tipped with claws that could pierce starship hull plating. Its face was all teeth and fury, eyes burning orange in the arena lights. This thing had killed 43 opponents. 43 warriors from 43 different worlds. The Korvax loved their champion. Zara just smiled. The Brumal charged. Its roar shook the arena, a sound like tearing metal and thunder. The crowd went insane. Bets were being finalized. Credits changing hands. Everyone knew how this would end. The human would run, would dodge, would try to survive. Then she would die. Slowly, painfully, and the Korvax would laugh. Except Zara wasn't running. She was calculating. Distance, velocity, mass distribution. Her instructors at the academy had called it combat mathematics. Her squad had called it her death wish. Right now, she called it Tuesday. The Brumal closed the gap in seconds. 30 feet. 20. 10. Its lower arms spread wide to grab her, to crush her between them like a bug. Its upper arms drew back for a killing strike. 5 feet. Zara moved. She didn't dodge left or right. She went up. Straight up. Using every ounce of earthborn leg strength to launch herself at the creature's chest. The Brumal's brain, evolved on a low-gravity moon, couldn't process the movement fast enough. It expected prey that ran away, not prey that attacked. Zara's boots hit its sternum. She used the impact to push higher, hands finding purchase on its thick shoulders. The creature tried to swat her, but its own anatomy betrayed it. The arms were too long, the angle too awkward. She was inside its reach. Then she was on its back. The crowd went silent. For just a heartbeat, thousands of aliens stopped screaming. They had never seen this. No one had ever mounted their champion. No one had ever gotten that close and lived. Zara didn't hesitate. Her right arm snaked around the Brumal's thick neck. Her left arm locked behind its skull. She crossed her ankles around its midsection, heels digging into its ribs. Then she squeezed. The Brumal panicked. It spun, thrashing like a malfunctioning gravity drive. Its 4 arms flailed, trying to reach her. One massive hand caught her side, claws raking through her uniform, drawing blood. Zara hissed, but held on. Pain was just information. Right now, it was telling her she was still alive. The creature slammed itself backward into the arena wall. The impact rattled Zara's teeth. Her vision blurred, but her grip didn't loosen. If anything, it tightened. She adjusted her position, finding the exact angle where her forearm pressed against the major blood vessels in the thing's neck, not crushing the windpipe. That took too long. No, this was a proper choke. Blood flow interrupted. Brain starving. 10 seconds of unconsciousness if she did it right. The Brumal roared again, but the sound was weaker now. Confused, it staggered forward, then sideways. Its movements became erratic. Desperate, Zara felt its pulse through her forearm. Fast, too fast, then irregular. The creature's breathing changed, became ragged. Its arms stopped swinging with purpose and started just flapping, motor control failing. 5 seconds. The crowd found their voice again. But it wasn't cheering. It was shock, disbelief. Thousands of beings watching their undefeated champion stumble around the arena like a drunk. This tiny human clinging to its back like death itself. 3 seconds. The Brumal dropped to one knee, then the other. Its massive head swayed. Zara could feel the exact moment its brain shut down. The body went rigid for just an instant, then limp. She rode it down, maintaining the choke even as they hit the ground. You never let go early. That was how you died. You held on until you were absolutely certain. The Brumal's eyes rolled back. Its breathing slowed to nothing. Unconscious. Maybe dead. Zara didn't care which. She released her grip and rolled away, coming up in a crouch. Her side was on fire where the claws had caught her. 3 deep gashes, bleeding freely. Nothing vital hit. She'd had worse. The arena was absolutely silent now. Even the hologram seemed frozen. Zara stood slowly, every eye in the place locked on her. She walked to the center of the arena, leaving bloody footprints on the slick floor. When she reached the exact middle, she looked up at the Imperator's box. High Adjunct Krell sat there, his 6 eyes wide with something that might have been fear. The fat slug had been so certain, so smug. He had promised to release her crew if she fought. He had never promised to release them if she won, because she wasn't supposed to win. Zara raised her right hand, extended one finger. The human gesture was universal enough. Then she spoke, her voice carrying in the stunned silence. Where are my people? Krell's mouth worked, but no sound came out. Around him, his advisors were in chaos. Some were checking displays. Others were shouting into communication devices. The whole carefully constructed spectacle had just imploded. Behind her, the Brumal groaned. Still alive then. Good. Zara hadn't wanted to kill it. It was just doing what it had been trained to do. The real monsters were sitting in the luxury boxes, betting on lives like they were playing cards. Medical drones finally swept into the arena, converging on the fallen champion. Zara ignored them. She kept her eyes on Krell, kept her hand raised, kept her message clear. The side tunnel she had entered through burst open again. This time it was guards. 20 of them, pulse rifles raised, armor gleaming. They surrounded her in a loose circle, weapons trained on her center mass. Zara didn't move, didn't lower her hand, didn't break eye contact with Krell. For 10 long seconds, nothing happened. The entire arena held its breath. 1 human, 20 guards, thousands of spectators, all frozen in this moment. Then Krell stood. His bulk shook as he moved to the edge of his box. When he spoke, his voice boomed through the arena speakers. The human has won her bout. According to Imperium law, she has earned the right to claim her prize. The crowd erupted, some cheering, some booing, mostly just noise, confusion. Their entertainment had gone sideways. Zara finally lowered her hand. My crew, now! Krell's eyes narrowed. All 6 of them. Your crew will be brought to you. However, he paused, and Zara felt ice in her stomach. There was always a however. The law states that a champion may claim their prize, but they must first survive a night. You have won one bout. Human. But the evening is young, and the crowd is hungry. The guards shifted, spreading wider. The arena lights dimmed, then flared red. Klaxons sounded, and from 6 different tunnel entrances, gates began to rise. Zara's fist clenched. Of course there was a catch. There was always a catch. These things didn't become galactic powers by playing fair. The first creature emerged from Tunnel 2, something with too many legs and not enough eyes. Behind it, Tunnel 5 disgorged a pair of Nexian duelists, both armed with plasma whips. Tunnel 1 revealed a Korth combat mech, 8 feet of walking artillery. Zara counted. 8 opponents, all fresh, all deadly, and her bleeding from 3 deep gashes in her side, her muscles already burning from the first fight. She started laughing. Couldn't help it. The sound bubbled up from somewhere deep, somewhere that had been holding on to sanity by a thread for 6 months. The guards backed up a step. Even the approaching monsters hesitated, because that laugh didn't sound scared. It sounded excited. It sounded hungry. Zara looked up at Krell one more time. "You really don't understand humans, do you?" She rolled her shoulders, feeling joints pop. "We're not from a paradise world. We're not from some gentle gravity, well, where evolution was kind." The Korvax fired a warning shot. The plasma bolt scorched the ground 3 feet from her. Zara didn't flinch. "We're from a death world." Her smile was all teeth now. "And we are very, very good at surviving." Then she moved. The Nexian duelists struck first. Their plasma whips cracked through the air, ionized energy leaving afterimages on Zara's retinas. She dove left, rolling across the slick arena floor. The whips hit where she had been standing, melting divots into the reinforced surface. Close. Too close. But close was her friend now. Close was where Earthborn reflexes shined. These aliens had faster tech, better weapons, stronger bodies. What they didn't have was 3 billion years of predator evolution screaming through their DNA. Zara came up inside the first duelist guard. Its 3 eyes widened in surprise. She grabbed its whip arm, used its own momentum to spin it around. The creature's partner was already swinging. The second whip caught the first duelist square in the back. It shrieked, convulsing as its own teammate's weapon cooked it from the inside out. 1 down. 7 to go. The crowd was screaming again. This was what they had paid for. Blood, violence, spectacle. Zara gave them all 3. The spider thing was fast. 6 legs pumping, mandibles clicking. It covered 20 feet in a heartbeat. But Zara had fought in zero-gravity boarding actions where every surface was a threat. She read its attack pattern in 3 strides. When it lunged, she sidestepped, grabbed one of its legs, and used its own velocity to swing it into the Korvax firing line. The mech's plasma cannon obliterated the spider midair. Chitin and ichor rained down. The mech's operator, some slug-like thing sealed inside, was already tracking for another shot. Zara was moving before the cannon could rotate. She sprinted straight at the mech, ignoring the screaming pain in her side. Blood was flowing freely now, making her footing treacherous. She could feel herself getting weaker. Didn't matter. Weakness was just another variable to account for. The mech fired. Zara dropped into a slide, momentum carrying her under the blast. The heat scorched the air above her. Then she was at its feet. Literal feet. The mech stood on 2 reverse-articulated legs, each joint protected by overlapping armor plates. Except joints had to move, which meant gaps. Zara drove her fist into the knee actuator with everything she had left. Her hand shattered. She felt bones break, nerves scream. But the actuator crumpled. The mech staggered, balance compromised. Its operator panicked, firing wildly. A plasma bolt caught the second Nexian duelist, vaporizing it instantly. 4 down, 4 to go. The mech toppled. Zara scrambled clear as it crashed face first into the arena floor. The impact cracked its cockpit seal. The slug inside was screaming something in a language she didn't know. She ignored it, grabbed the mech's own plasma cannon, ripping it free from its mounting. The weapon was designed for something twice her size. She didn't care. She leveled it one-handed, her broken fist useless, and fired. The remaining 4 opponents were clustering now. Pack tactics. Smart. They had seen what happened to the ones who came at her alone. There was a Gralvik berserker, all muscle and rage. 2 Sistian assassins, sleek and fast. And something she didn't recognize. Something with tentacles and too many teeth. They charged together. Zara fired the plasma cannon. The recoil nearly tore her arm from its socket. The beam caught the Gralvik center mass. It exploded. Literally exploded. Body temperature meeting superheated plasma. The blast wave knocked the assassin sideways. The tentacle thing kept coming. Smart, using the chaos as cover. Its limbs shot forward, each tipped with hooked barbs. They wrapped around Zara's legs, her waist squeezing, lifting. She triggered the cannon again, but the angle was wrong. The beam went wide. of grinding teeth. It was going to eat her. Actually eat her. The crowd was loving it. Zara dropped the cannon, used her good hand to grab the tentacle around her waist. Then she did something no sane person would do. She pulled herself closer to those teeth. The creature was confused for just a second, prayed and moved toward the mouth. That second was enough. Zara drove her thumb into one of the thing's dozen eyes. Not the eye itself. Behind it, into the soft neural tissue. She felt something pop, felt warm fluid gush over her hand. The creature screamed. The tentacles released. She fell, hit the ground hard. Her broken ribs sent fresh waves of agony through her chest. The Cystion assassins were on her before she could stand. They moved like liquid, like shadows. One kicked her in the chest. She heard more ribs go, tasted blood. The second one had a blade, curved, glowing, probably poisoned. It went for her throat. Zara caught the wrist. Barely. Her broken hand couldn't grip properly, so she used her forearm. Locked the blade inches from her jugular. The assassin was strong, stronger than her, but strength only mattered if you could apply it. She headbutted the assassin. Her forehead met its face. Both of them reeled. But Zara had been expecting the impact, had braced for it. The assassin hadn't. Its grip loosened. She twisted, stole the blade, drove it up under its ribs, found something vital. It collapsed. The last assassin backed away. It was reassessing, looking at this bleeding, broken human who should have died 3 times already, looking at the bodies scattered around the arena. 7 opponents, all dead or dying. The assassin turned and ran for the tunnels. The crowd booed, coward, but Zara understood. Sometimes survival meant knowing when you were beaten. She stood slowly. Everything hurt. Everything. Her hand was a mangled mess. Her side was torn open. Her ribs were broken. Probably internal bleeding. Definitely concussed. But she was standing. Still standing. The arena went quiet again. Every eye on her. The human who wouldn't die. The creature from the deathworld who had just torn through 8 trained killers like they were nothing. Zara looked up at Krell's box. The high adjunct was standing now. All 6 eyes were wide. His mouth hung open. Around him, advisors were shouting, arguing. Some were pointing at displays. Others were already moving toward exits. Zara raised her good hand, made that gesture again, the one they all understood now. Where are my people? For a long moment, nothing happened. The entire arena held its breath. Then Krell moved to his communication panel, keyed something, spoke words Zara couldn't hear. A side door opened, not one of the battle tunnels, an actual door, and through it came 12 humans. Her crew, dirty, bruised, but alive. Lieutenant Voss was in front. When he saw her, his face went white. Captain? His voice cracked. Sir, you're bleeding everywhere. Zara grinned, tasted blood in her mouth. I've had worse. She hadn't. This was probably the worst. But they didn't need to know that. Everyone here? All 12. Yes, sir. All present and accounted for. Good. She looked back up at Krell. We're leaving. Now. The high adjunct's voice boomed through the speakers again. The champion has won. The prize is claimed. By Imperium law, you are free to depart. Zara didn't move. Didn't trust it. Couldn't trust it. Our ship, our weapons, our supplies, everything you took, returned in full. Krell's eyes narrowed, but he nodded. It will be done. And one more thing. Zara's voice dropped, became ice, became the voice of someone who had just killed 8 beings with her bare hands. You tell every race in the Imperium what happened here tonight. You tell them about the human who jumped on your champion's back and choked out in front of thousands. You tell them about the deathworld. And you tell them we're done being underestimated. Silence. Then Krell threw back his head and laughed. The sound was bitter, defeated, but genuine. It will be done. Human. The galaxy will know what happened here. They will know what Earth produces. Good. Zara started walking toward her crew. Each step was agony, but she kept her back straight, Kept her head up. Couldn't show weakness. Not now. Not when they were so close. Voss caught her as she reached them. Her legs gave out. He lowered her gently. Medical. Now. In a minute. Zara looked at her crew. All 12 faces. Some she had known for years. Others just months. All of them looking at her like she had just walked out of a nightmare. She had. Anyone seriously injured? Nothing compared to you, sir. That was Chun, communications officer. Always had a joke ready. Not joking now. Captain, you need a hospital. I need a ship. Zara forced herself upright again. Voss tried to help. She waved him off. I need all of you to listen very carefully. We walk out of here under our own power. We show them we're not broken. Then, when we're on our ship, when we're clear of the station, then I'll pass out. Deal? Sir, you might not have that long. Rodriguez, medic. He was already scanning her with a handheld unit. His face said it all. Then we walk fast. Zara looked at each of them. We're alive. All of us. 6 months in their prison, and we're all still here. That's worth a painful walk. Voss nodded slowly. Yes, sir. He looked at the others. You heard the captain. Formation. We're leaving. They moved as one. 12 humans, surrounding their broken captain, walking across an arena floor covered in alien blood, past the bodies of creatures that should have killed them all, under the stares of thousands of beings who would never see them the same way again. The crowd didn't cheer, didn't boo. They just watched, silent witnesses to something they couldn't quite process. The deathworlders were leaving, and somehow, impossibly, they were all leaving alive. As they reached the exit tunnel, Zara looked back one last time, caught Krell's eyes across the distance. The high adjunct inclined his head, just slightly. Respect, or maybe fear. Probably both. Zara matched the gesture. Then she let her crew carry her in. Chun looked up from her console. Sir, you seeing this? Seeing what? Galactic networks. News feeds. Entertainment channels. All of them. She turned her screen. We're everywhere. Someone leaked footage from the arena. The whole fight. Every second. Voss watched the playback. Watched Zara launch herself at that monster. Watched her lock on. Watched it fall. Then watched her take on 8 more. He had seen it in person. It still didn't seem real. How many views? 100 million. And climbing fast. Chen's voice was quiet. Odd. Sir, the captain just became the most famous human in the galaxy. Voss smiled. She's going to hate that. Probably. Chun paused. Think she'll recover? I think she just survived 8 train killers with a broken hand and punctured lung. Voss looked at the stars ahead, at the long journey home. Yeah, she'll recover. And when she does, the galaxy is going to learn a very important lesson. What's that, sir? Never bet against a human in a fight. He sat in the captain's chair. It felt wrong, but someone had to fly the ship. Never bet against Earth. And never, ever make us angry. He keyed the intercom. All hands. Set course for home. Maximum burn. Let's get our captain back where she belongs. As the ship jumped to FTL, as the stars stretched into lines of light, Zara Kim lay in medical, unconscious, broken, but alive, and across the galaxy, on 1,000 worlds and 100 systems, beings watched the footage, watched the human who jumped on a giant's back and choked it out instantly. The death worlders were coming, and they were done asking nicely,